Hey guys, Stack Tutorials, and today I bring to you the 5th episode of my series, How to Make an RTM Tool in C++. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to add CCAPI to your RTM tool. So it's something you guys have been wanting, and it's something that will ultimately make your RTM tool a lot better. So I'm really excited to show you this. Thanks to someone in the comments, I forget his name, I'm really sorry, but he actually posted a link to Enstone's CCAPI library for C++. So this is actually the official CCAPI library written in C++ by Enstone himself, the creator of CCAPI. So it's really cool. Downloading is in the description. So when you download it, you get this. So just go ahead and open up this RAR file. Drag this folder onto your desktop. Close the RAR. You don't really need this anymore. So if you go ahead and open this up, you now have a dev section. So go inside here. Go into Windows. Now you have C, C#, and C++. So we want C++. And then go into Library. And you have these three files. The two CCAPI files are the actual library. It's a class, essentially. And then the CCAPI types is just type definitions that the class uses. Then if you go back, you have an example. These three are exactly the same, but you also have a main source file now that shows you how to use it, but it's not completely useful for what we're doing because this is basically for a console application and we're making a GUI. So go back inside the library and we're going to implement this into our project. So to do that, you can open up another Windows Explorer, go inside your Qt folder, go into Tools, Qt Creator, Bin, and scroll down to the name of your project. Mine is tutorial. Go back in here. You copy all of these. You can close. No, don't close. Then paste all of them inside here, like that. Now you can go back. Scroll up to the build tutorial static release or whatever it is called. It's the second folder for your project. Inside here, go inside the release folder. Go back inside the library, go back to where you find ccapi.dll, and I don't want to move it, I just want to copy it, so Control-C, Control-V. So make sure that is inside there so that when you execute the program, the library is loaded. So now we can actually exit out of this and go inside our project. So first thing we're going to do is right-click on the project name right here. Mine's tutorial. I'll just be referring to a tutorial. I don't need to keep saying that. So just right-click on tutorial. Click Add Existing Files. Then select the three CCAPI ones that you just added. And now they should be inside your project. So if you go inside here, this is the class with the forward declarations. Here's all the definitions. This is very well coded. It's very nice, readable code. I really like it. I read through absolutely all of it. And then we have these type definitions. Don't have to worry about those. And then we obviously still have ps3lib.h, which I actually should probably add to the project folder so I could access it. But whatever. I'm not going to worry about that. So the first thing we're going to do is actually go inside mainwindow.h. Inside this private part, we're going to add CCAPI in lowercase. And this is just an instance of the class, and I actually already forgot to include it. So on top over here, type #include CCAPI.h. So now this should pop up in pink, and this should be red. So basically it's just an instance of the class. And we can begin changing some things up. So the first thing we want to do is we kind of want to eliminate any CCAPI from what we have, because the ps3.h has a CCAPI library built into it, but it is nowhere near as good as this one. We will still be using the TMAPI one, but for CCAPI we will be using Enstone's. So in order to eliminate CCAPI from what we already have, just before the connect function, type sntmapi : You could get rid of default CCAPI IP over here. And where else? No, okay, also right here. SN_TMAPI : attach. So these are specifically functions that belong to TMAPI, not CCAPI, because we do not want CCAPI anymore. Okay. Now it's looking good, and we can go inside our Windows form, and we could add the CCAPI compatibility. So let's actually just move this to the left because we're going to be adding a line edit. And let's move this to the left. You can go ahead and copy and paste this. Rename this one to CCAPI. Then rename the radio button to CCAPI. Like that. And then over here, we're going to add a line edit. Just drag it over. This is where you type in your IP. Okay, looks good. And make sure you understand this says line edit 2. Don't get it mixed up with the other one that we have, or else you'll get errors. So I'll go back to the edit, mainwindow.cpp. Actually no, go back to the form, right click on CCAPI, click go to slot, click OK. I'm going to move this all the way up underneath the TMAPI radio button. And we're just going to copy and paste this, except change TMAPI to CCAPI, like that. And now inside here, tab this a little bit, and right here make an if statement. If ps3 : API equals ps3 : TMAPI. And then else if ps3 API equals ps3 : CCAPI. And then else you can handle that error. I don't know, you could put some kind of error message right here. And same thing right here. If the API is TMAPI, then else if CCAPI. Else, yeah, whatever. No library. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is if we try to connect to CCAPI, we want to make sure that the library is actually loaded. And I misspelled library, but it's okay. So what I mean by that is we want to make sure that the ccapi.dll file is actually inside the executable directory. If it's not, then the library is not loaded, and how are they going to connect to the PS3? So we want to check for that first, if the library is loaded. So to do that, type if ccapi.get library state, and before this actually put an exclamation point. So if it's false, if it's not loaded, then you could put an else, meaning if it is loaded. And inside of here, you can go ahead and put we're gonna make a message box pop up. So type q message box : critical, because it's critical because it's like a warning or an error, I guess. You also have information which we use for like success. So first we type 0 in the parameters, comma q string, and this is the title of the box. We're going to call it error. And after that, make a comma and type q string, and here's the message you want to say. I guess library not loaded. Make sure that CCAPI.dll is in the executable directory. Doesn't matter what you put here, but this kind of makes sense, pretty self-explanatory. And then else, this is where you could put the connection, meaning it is actually loaded. So in order to connect, we're going to do if !CCAPI dot connect. Inside here we need the IP. So we actually grab the IP from the line edit. So type UI.line edit 2. Remember we did that's our second one. Line edit 2 dot text. And currently the text is actually a QString text. That's the type of the text. And we actually want to convert it to std string text because the connect function, if you look at the parameter inside here, it wants a std string IP. So in order to convert it, after this text, we actually want to append two things. First we want to do .to local 8-bit, then .const data. And now this is converted. So then after all of this, before that last parenthesis, type doesn't equal CCAPI underscore OK. Basically, we want it to return CCAPI OK, and if it doesn't, then that means it doesn't connect. So if that, then else, meaning if it actually does connect. So if it doesn't connect, then we also want to make a critical message box here. Want to do error not or cannot connect to PS3. And then we could also do UI.statusbar.show message. I messed up. I misspelled it. Statusbar.show message not connected. Okay. And then right here, we actually want to show an informational queue message box because it is connected. So type, actually we could just copy this whole thing, to be honest. But instead of critical, type information. And then instead of error, we could put success. And then inside here, put connected to PS3. And then for the status bar, you could write connected with an exclamation point. Like that. So I think this should be good for now. So let's go ahead and try it out. Go ahead and run it to test for any errors. 38 errors. What do we... Alright, you guys shouldn't have gotten any errors. That was just me because I was messing around with this earlier and I accidentally included everything twice inside this project, so I had a lot of conflictions, but otherwise I kind of fixed all that up. But other than that, there are no errors, so if you run this, it should be fine. And now you can actually go ahead and try to connect to your PS3. So I'm going to turn it on real quick, and I'll be back. Alright, so my PS3 is on. The IP is 192.168.137.17. You just type it in here and click connect, and cannot connect. Okay. I don't know why I actually put an exclamation point right here. That shouldn't be there because it already says it doesn't equal CCAPI OK. So that made no sense. So let's try this again. CCAPI 192.168.137.17 connect, and it says connected to PS3. So that looks pretty good. And let's actually exit out and let's try CCAPI. See if that still works. Just click CCAPI. You don't have to type anything here. Click connect and connect to PS3. So now we officially have both working. So now let's move on to the attach function. So we have it looking pretty good already. First thing we want to check for is if they're connected, because if they're not connected, they shouldn't be able to attach in the first place. So we actually have to add this in this function as well, or in this condition or if statement as well. First we'll just add this here, so simply just copy and paste the exact same check as you have right here. So check again right here. So basically, if it's not connected, then make the message, the critical message, just copy and paste it. So just put not connected to PS3 ... Then else, meaning if you are connected already. Inside here, you could actually start making the attach functions. So this is going to look a bit weird, but this is so that we could actually make some variables to use the attach to game process function. So just copy what I do. It might not look like it makes sense, but it will. So type bool found. You can initialize it to false like that. And underneath it, do u32 PID, initialize it to this. That's a little squiggly thing like a tilde in Spanish. And then under here, put if CCAPI .attach game process. In the first parameter, go ahead and put address of found, or not address of, but reference of found, comma, reference of PID. And then after this condition, type doesn't equal CCAPI underscore OK, like we had before. Then also put else if exclamation point found, meaning it's just not found. And then else, and then this is where everything's okay. So right here, we're going to put the critical message box. Error, and inside here we could put error attaching to game process, or even better, an error occurred while attaching to the game process. Okay, then if not found, we can copy this message box and put cannot find game process. And then in the else statement, we can go ahead and write the information box and write attached to game process. And then also for the status bar, we go ui.statusbar.showMessage. And first we want to get the current message if they're connected, so just write ui.statusbar.currentMessage, and then plus to add on a string of text, plus attached, like that. And I think that should be good. So I also want to add the same thing to here, the first part, if it's connected. So go ahead and tab this out, right here, put if ps3 : SNTMAPI : connect, and put an exclamation point in the beginning, if not connected, like that. Else, and actually put all of this into the else statement. Inside in the connect statement, just go ahead and write the same thing right here. You're not connected to the PS3. So let's go ahead and run this to make sure we don't have any build errors. and I'll start up MW3 while I'm at it. It doesn't matter what game you're doing. Actually, the attach process is the same for any game. It really doesn't matter. As long as you're in a game with the debug eboot, it should be fine. Well, I mean, I guess if you're at CCAPI, I don't know if you need a debug eboot. Let's go ahead and click CCAPI, then type your IP 192.168.137.17. Click connected, then click attach. See, get attached to the game process. Don't try to do any of the mods. This is not going to work. This is still all for CCAPI, but in the next video I'll actually show you how to make the mods compatible with CCAPI. But it's pretty good though. We accomplished a lot in this video. We actually got CCAPI to work entirely. So now we have the ability to either use CCAPI or CCAPI. So pretty cool.